Being great only requires one step. Therefore, as we move past 2023, let's ask ourselves, how can I live my life to the fullest today? As 2023 draws to an end tomorrow, we find ourselves at the brink of a new day that invites us to pause and consider what lies ahead. Life is, after all, like an unexplored voyage, with every day presenting an opportunity to alter our destiny. Here are 10 habits that the Stoics encouraged for the transition from 2023 to 2024. These aren't just thoughts to think about, these are things to do. Don't worry, we won't get into any complicated language for today. This is Stoicism, simple, useful, and directly applicable to your everyday life. The ancient Stoics, who were very wise, knew this very well. They weren't just philosophers lost in thought. They were realistic and had a strong sense of how life works. Picture a calm evening at the beginning of the year 2024. You're thinking about the future and the previous year. It's not just about making long-term plans that you might forget. These are habits that will change your life. The humble Scottish proverb, "Many mickles make a muckle humble," held significance for George Washington, whose unwavering perseverance played a crucial role in the nation's development. The proverb conveys the profound understanding that the earth is composed of small Zeno. The Stoic movement's founder was also correct when he said that happiness comes in small steps, but it's not a small thing. He realized that changes come about gradually, rather than all at once. Consider how you plant seeds. Each one has the potential to grow into something beautiful. What does this mean for us? If you want to read more, for example, don't set yourself a lofty goal. Instead, commit to reading one page each day. Imagine creating a mosaic. Every piece fits into the larger picture. Remember that a walk begins with one step, and a habit begins with one action. The most significant thing about atomic habits is not just that they can blow up, but also that they are fundamental. Just as an atom is the smallest known unit with a lot of power, so too are our smallest habits what allow for big changes. Here's a secret for you. It's not enough to just do little things. You also need to think a little bit. Don't fall for big promises that you can't keep. Instead, focus on what's in front of you. James Clear's Atomic Habits beautifully expresses this sentiment. What you can accomplish today will add up to significant changes as you continue to add these tiny wins. Remember that every river began as a tiny stream. As we approach 2024, let's be reminded of how powerful it is to start small. As Zeno would say, an act of kindness is always worthwhile. 2. Quit allowing your anxiety rule your life. We're all going through a storm. The anxiety isn't in the sky. Rather, it's within of us, and it seems like a shadow is pursuing us. Friends were discussing potential events and misfortunes, but the harsh reality is that you are not a puppet, and anxiety is not the puppeteer. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, understood this. I found solace from stress in his meditations, which he wrote today, or I kept it because it was a part of me. This is a powerful realization. There is never bad weather at the airport or on a plane. How can we break free from this invisible chain? Accept responsibility for your emotions and realize that your ideas, not the environment, are what's causing your worry. It's similar to fog making major issues difficult to see, appear to be little ones. This is where being mindful comes in handy. Get rid of the fog and see things as they truly are, not how your anxieties make you perceive them. Hold on for a minute. As we enter the new year, let's resolve to break free from the bonds of anxiety. Aurelius tells us that you control your mind, not what happens in the outside world. If you understand this, you will be strong. Remember that the only storm you have to face is the one inside of you. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this worry due to what is happening or to what I fear might happen? Most of the time it will be the second one. Let's finally bust a myth. Anxiety is not a way to avoid problems that might happen. It doesn't get you ready. You can't move. It feels like a rocking chair. 3. Establish a schedule. Imagine that your day is a blank page that you have no plans for. It's just waiting to be filled in whatever manner you like. But even with a defined plan, it's still a piece of art in progress. Routines are powerful because they allow you to focus your energy in the most effective way possible. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher whose ideas have been studied for hundreds of years, once said that life without a plan is random, and that a well-planned day was a well-spent day. He knew how to create this routine, though, so how do you make it? For me, it's about taking control of the morning rather than letting it take over and finding out what time of day you are most productive. Do you, like me, love the quiet of the morning, or does your energy level rise throughout the day? Plan your day around this natural rhythm. Your best hours should be used for the most important tasks that require your full attention and creativity. I sometimes go for walks and use that time to reflect and finish a creative project before everyone else wakes up. However, it's important to remember that routines aren't just for business. They're also about balance. Creating healthy habits for your mind, body, and spirit can involve reading, exercising, or spending time with loved ones. But above all, stick to your routine. This is what keeps everything in order. You'll discover that as you make good habits stronger, they will grow. Seneca reminds us that principles are crucial, and that a daily routine is nothing more than a set of rules you must go by. Accept the structure, and watch as the uncertain chaos transforms into a tranquil and fruitful symphony. 4. Tell yourself to stop. There is a story that has been repeated over the years. It is not about an invasion or a conflict, but rather about a personal triumph. Dwight Eisenhower faced a formidable foe, and his decisions altered the path of history. His doctor warned him to give up smoking or terrible things would happen, so he did. What did Eisenhower say? He told himself to stop, and after 40 years, he suddenly resigned. This is evidence of the very powerful idea that a person is not free if they are not in control of themselves. Epic Teacher explained that this story is about kicking any bad habit that's holding you back, not simply quitting smoking. Everyone experiences difficult times, whether it's through negative thinking or poor behaviors like procrastinating. We are all slaves to something. Therefore, the beauty of Stoicism is that it helps us realize that we are the ones who can break our chains. Seneca, another great man, once stated that the secret to winning is telling yourself to stop. It's about taking responsibility of your urges instead of letting them run your life. How can you incorporate this into your life? Choose one thing. It can be that extra cup of coffee. Social media scanning for hours at a time, as well as other bad habits that hinder rather than assist, should be addressed. Consider how social media has impacted your life and express your desire to quit. You're regaining your freedom when you tell yourself to quit. Remember this as you go into 2024. Your destiny is in your hands, and the first thing you must do is master yourself. It's not about making gradual changes. It's about taking deliberate action. 5. Free up important items. The most valuable resource we have, our time, is squandered on unimportant things. Even though we often complain that we don't have enough time, our screen time demonstrates that the key is to make the most of the time we do have. Stoicism instructs us to focus on the things that really matter. The epic of the philosopher Titus, a real-life wise man, once stated that if you want to improve, be prepared to look foolish or uninformed about certain subjects. This is about making the decision to avoid getting sucked into the whirlwind of unimportant things like doomsday scrolling, excessive news reading, or other digital distractions. The plan is to fold, recognize the issue, and take action. To start, closely monitor how you spend your time. Record your daily and weekly activities. You'll likely be surprised by how much time you spend on activities that don't really add value to your life. Taking this first step toward change is realizing this. Next, decide what to do and act on it. Reduce the amount of time you spend on these tasks initially. Limit the amount of time you spend using the app, schedule certain times to read the news, and refrain from aimless online browsing. It's important to choose not to drown in the world, not to isolate yourself from it. This habit is more than just a way to keep track of time. It's about how to handle your life and ensuring that the precious hours in your day are spent on things that make your life better rather than worse. Once you take back your time, you'll have more for the things that really matter, pursuing your goals, forming relationships, and developing personally. As we enter 2024, let's keep Epictetus's advice in mind and focus our time and efforts on the things that will truly make us happy and flourish. Never forget that every minute you spend on meaningless activities is a minute you lose on something significant. 6. Do something challenging at the beginning of each new year. Seneca, a very stoic individual, accomplished more than merely plan. He made a declaration that he was in control of himself by jumping into the icy Tiber River. It was obvious that he meant to say, "I'm in charge," and the move had nothing to do with the water's temperature. The topic of the fire was toughness and confidence. It served as a powerful reminder that facing challenges head-on can often result in the most powerful things you can accomplish. How can we apply this lesson about remaining composed in our everyday lives? Choose an activity that pushes your boundaries and challenges you. It could be anything from taking a cold shower to learning a new skill to standing up in a meeting. Pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone is more crucial than the task at hand, because that's when we grow the most and discover our true selves. The key to this practice is not how difficult it is, but rather how you have to battle your instincts. It demonstrates your inner strength and demonstrates that you are greater than your anxieties and fears. When you go on this difficult trip, keep in mind Seneca's hidden advice. I am in charge of what I do, how I feel, and what I think. Let 2024 be the year you take on new challenges and demonstrate to yourself that you can handle them. We do more than just get by when things go wrong. In fact, we thrive when we spend time with individuals who improve us more than we realize. Spending time with these people makes us feel like we're taking a stroll through life. There are numerous routes through the woods to reach your destination. This is not a novel concept. Through his letters, the Stoics learned the strength of groups. Seneca demonstrated the value of surrounding yourself with others who help you develop and learn. Spend time with those who will improve you as a guy. At one point he wrote, "You don't have to pick friends, you have to pick the people and things that shape your life and character." How does this apply to the world we live in today? First, take a close look at your social circle. Who do you spend the most time with? Do they possess the qualities you admire and wish to possess? There's no need to find perfect people. Finding people that push you, support your growth, and share your beliefs is important. Placing yourself in an environment that allows you to flourish is similar to planting yourself in fertile ground. Keep in mind that if you associate with individuals who are inactive, you will also become inactive. This goes beyond simply avoiding negative people and includes actively seeking out positive ones. Create your own Stoic group. It can be a book club, a conversation group, or just a bunch of pals looking to better themselves through engaging in activities that uplift the spirit and mind. Discuss your views, debate important concepts, and encourage one another. Seneca once said, "When we teach, we learn." Having supportive individuals around you will enable you to accomplish more than simply confront challenges. You'll overcome them. Let 2024 be the year that you cultivate your garden of influences, making sure that every individual in it supports you as you go. Don't be afraid of change. Learning to ride the waves is similar to adjusting to change. If you don't give in, you'll crash, but if you do, you'll be carried along while he's lost in thought. Marcus Aurelius considered how things alter. He understood that life is an endless stream of change, and that when we are afraid of it, we miss out on all the amazing opportunities and possibilities that come with it. To embrace change and make it a part of your life, you need to do more than just accept it. You need to shift your perspective and start seeing change as an exciting opportunity to learn, grow, and experience new things. This year is a chance to push yourself to step outside of your comfort zone. Maybe you might attempt a different interest, a different line of work, or even just a different way of thinking. Learn to be flexible like a tree that bends but doesn't break when the wind blows. When circumstances change, learn to be able to adapt. Being adaptable doesn't imply you're passive. Those are the times when we grow the most and are happiest. It's about actively seeking out ways to succeed in new circumstances as life changes. Do you recall what Marcus Aurelius said? Things are changing in the universe, and so are our lives. Let 2024 be the year you learn how to handle change with style and skill. I view every new challenge as an opportunity to grow and learn more about myself. In a world full of options and things to do, Say no to the things that aren't necessary. Being able to say no, well, turns into a superpower. Even Marcus Aurelius, who had to deal with all the issues that came with running an empire, understood how important it was to be smart. He was astute to point out that a lot of the things we do aren't necessary. By refusing things that aren't necessary, we do more than just make time. Incorporate this into your life by first determining whether the things you committed to accomplish align with your objectives and moral principles. It is simple to become bogged down in a ton of hectic labor that doesn't actually advance our objectives. Learn to say no to the things that will take your attention. This does not imply being amiable or supportive. Setting boundaries allows you to concentrate your efforts on the things that are truly important. Keep in mind that accepting a minor request is equivalent to rejecting a larger one. Reverse this equation and act on your yeses. Give your all. Saying yes to things that improve your life, such as hobbies, relationships, or personal development, is more than just a reaction. It signifies a commitment to giving the things that truly matter your all as you begin the new year. Only accept offers that will enable you to develop into the kind of person you want to be. Wisdom is similar to Marcus Aurelius. Always ask yourself, is this necessary? Let 2024 be the year you hone the delicate yet effective talent of saying no, as doing so will help you find your path to a life that is focused, meaningful, and deeply satisfying. Return to the rhythm. Recognizing our humanity requires acknowledging our shortcomings and errors. We need to understand that stumbling is a part of our journey and not a break from it in real life. This means having a mindset of strength and forgiveness. Instead of viewing failure as a failure if you fail to stick to your diet, exercise regimen, or other resolutions, consider it as an important part of the growth process. Marcus Aurelius, a leader who had to deal with the difficulties of life and empire, once pondered how important it is to not only get back up when we fall, but also to see the beauty in the fact that we can choose the second option. Either you chastise yourself, or you acknowledge your error and gently nudge yourself back on course. It's about developing the habit of treating yourself with kindness and persevering after you get back on track. You also want to feel stronger and more satisfied with yourself for being able to regain your rhythm. Recognizing our humanity requires acknowledging our shortcomings and errors. We need to understand that stumbling is a part of our journey, and not a break from it in real life. This means having a mindset of strength and forgiveness. Instead of viewing failure as a failure if you fail to stick to your diet, exercise regimen, or other resolutions, consider it as an important part of the growth process. Marcus Aurelius, a leader who had to deal with the difficulties of life and empire, once pondered how important it is to not only get back up when we fall, but also to see the beauty in the fact that we can choose the second option. Either you chastise yourself, or you acknowledge your error and gently nudge yourself back on course. It's about developing the habit of treating yourself with kindness and persevering after you get back on track. You also want to feel stronger and more satisfied with yourself for being able to regain your rhythm no matter how many times you falter. Remind yourself that you don't have to be flawless. Instead, focus on moving forward and returning to what matters most. What matters most isn't what happens to you. What matters is how you respond to it with incredible courage. Teeter stated, "Let's take the essence of these Stoic practices with us into 2024, not just as ideas, but as actions we take on a daily basis that impact our lives. Keep in mind that living Stoicism is just as important as understanding it. Every day is a blank canvas, and the actions you take are the brushstrokes that paint the picture of your life. So start now. Choose a drill. It could be a quiet morning or a nice deed. See how it transforms your life. Your feedback and anecdotes about how things have changed are what keep this journey going and aid in our collective growth. Let's continue on this path of development and share our experiences with others, so that they not only improve our lives but also uplift those around us. I appreciate your support and participation in this journey. I'm grateful that you're taking daily action to live a richer, more fulfilling life. Check out our upcoming video to gain more insight about Stoicism and inspiration for your path. There is still growth ahead of you.